Hi and welcome to this yoga practice to feel safe and secure. This practice is all centered around focusing on the pelvis and the hip area, which is the location of the root chakra. Chakras are energy centers in the body, and the root chakra is the very lowest center of energy, and the energy that we link to the root chakra is all about our sense of place in the world, our sense of safety, security, and really the whole beginning of ourselves. So when we move through these hip opening asana, I'm really inviting you to remind yourself that you are safe, you can take up space, and you are exactly where you need to be. So whether you believe in chakras or you're interested in that side of it, or whether you're just looking for a really great vinyasa flow yoga practice, then this one's for you. So we'll just start seated today and take a moment to ground in. So just coming into your breath now and finding a tall spine and really sitting in this sukhasana, this cross-legged position. Already we're working into our hips and our pelvis. So really bring your awareness there into your lower body. And now, as you breathe, just bringing yourself into the present moment. And I invite you to imagine a magnet behind your belly button. So that magnet is drawing all of the muscles around it inwards and upwards. The lower belly draws in, the pelvic floor is drawing upwards. This is your Mula Bandha, the root block, a light engagement of the pelvic floor muscles, which supports us in our practice. And even more than usual today, really focus on that engagement, supporting you, giving you security, anchoring you down. So now when you're ready, take your fingers forward in front of you. Take an inhale, go tall. As you exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Find a stretch into your hips, your glutes. Just take it very gently here, allowing this moment to just check in with your hips and your lower body. Finding some slow, deep breaths in this pose. Staying long through the spine. And then bringing it all the way back up and bringing the legs out in front of you. Bring the heels nice and close towards your body and take your hands down by your sides. Press into the feet, take an inhale, and as you exhale, lift the hips to move into a reverse tabletop position. As you exhale now, sit back down to your mat. If you need to readjust the position of your hands for your wrists, then do that now. And we'll move in and out a few times of this reverse tabletop. You can drop the head back if that feels good. And then lower it down to the earth. So really focusing on that Mula Bandha, drawing into your core muscles and lowering it down. And again, lifting up and lower it down. Good. And now taking the left ankle over your right knee. If you need to lean back or make space between your right foot and your body, then you can do that. And just opening up the hip and the glute here in this figure of four position. And taking a couple of really deep breaths. Opening up that hip. And then again, we're going to try that reverse tabletop. So with an exhale, lift up. Keep that left knee open to feel the stretch in your inner thigh. Maybe you drop the head back or keep your chin tucked if that's better in your neck. Really lift up through the hips and then lower it down and take it over to the other side. So we'll cross the right ankle over the left knee now. Lean back if you need to do that. And then flex your right foot and open that knee away from your face. So we are going to get into more of a flow today, but just starting really softly and sweetly, opening up the hips. So now when you're ready, lift up and feel that stretch coming into the inner thigh, trying to level out the hips here as much as you can. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, lower down. Good. So now uncross the legs and make your way over to your tabletop position. Wrists under the shoulders, hips under the knees, and taking a cat-cow. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, round the back, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. Moving with your breath, opening up the spine and drawing lower belly, pelvic floor in for Mula Bandha the whole time. Leading the movement with your gaze. And last one here. Good, and then bring it back to center. And we'll walk the feet back into a nice strong plank. Shoulders over the wrists. Take an inhale. As you exhale, option to bring the knees down or stay on the toes as you lower gently to the floor. Good. Now bring your hands in front of you. Turn your head over to your left side. Pick up your left knee and send it behind you for a scorpion stretch. And then take that breath down into the space where you feel the twist. Breathing deeply into that twist. Staying active through Mula Bandha to see if you can allow that tension there to help you release tension in other parts of the body. And now bring it back into the middle and take it over the other side. So keeping your head completely relaxed down, bring that right foot behind you for this reverse twist. And then bring it back into the middle and lifting yourself up. You can tuck your toes under now and taking an inhale here. As you exhale, lift the knees, bring your belly onto the thighs, and then continue to straighten the legs back to downward facing dog. Push the floor away so your arms are straight and your shoulders come towards your ears. Feel long through the sides of the body and the arms. Find a couple of deep breaths in stillness here, grounding into your feet, grounding into your hands. Feeling so stable and secure here in your downward dog. And then begin to roll it forward and walk your feet so you're into a plank position again. Step your right foot outside your right hand and then turn your body towards that right knee for a twist, keeping your left thigh lifted. Bring your fingers to your head and then draw a line down the inside of your leg with your elbow. Open it back out, reach long, and then bring the hand down and step the foot back. Good, hold your plank. And then step your left foot to the outside of the left wrist. Open it up towards that left side. Bring your fingertips to your head and then draw that line down inside the leg. Open it up and bring it down. This time, finding strength in your back thigh, lift the back leg to bring it forward into a yogi squat. If your heels don't reach the mat here, that's okay. Just use your hands to support you and think about bringing your hips back and down. If you can have your heels on the mat, then find that nice open chest and take a little bit of movement side to side. Breathing fully in your garland pose, malasana. Keep refinding that connection through your lower belly and pelvic floor. And then either bringing your hands to the mat or seeing if you can do it without your hands. Press your feet into the floor and lift yourself up into a forward fold. So hanging down with the body between the legs and just giving yourself that moment to let gravity create space in the spine. And really grounding into the feet here. And then you can begin to heel toe the feet together and gently roll up to standing, coming up one vertebra at a time, leaving the head till last. And taking a deep breath when you reach your standing position, give the shoulders a roll and bring your hands to heart center. And then moving into our flow here. So inhale as you stretch the arms out and up. Exhale as you fold forward. Breathe in, take a halfway lift. Then lower the fingers, step back on your right foot. Down. Inhale in your low lunge. Plant hands and step back to plank. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, lower the knees, chest and chin, pelvis stays high. As you inhale, slide it forward, Bhujangasana, Cobra. And as you exhale, push back to downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and a long exhale through the nose. As you breathe in, reach your right leg high, keep your hips square, and draw the knee forward. Step it to the outside of your right hand, like we did before. Bring your left knee down, and then reach your right arm up and over. You can either bring the back of the hand to your lower back, or if you feel quite open here, you can lift you. Use that strength of the leg, and then maybe you can reach back for your foot and lean away from that right leg, feeling that stretch in the quad, the front of the thigh and the hip flexor. And then bring the arm forward. Step it forward into your Malasana again. Take an inhale here. Exhale, lift the hips, find that wide-legged stance in your forward fold. From there, bend the knees, rise all the way up, reach into the fingers. Exhale, lower to the hands, to the heart as you heel-toe the feet together. Nice, we'll do that on the other side. Inhaling, stretch out and up. Exhale, unfold forward. Breathe in, halfway lift. Then lower the fingers, step back on the left foot this time, and bring your left knee down. Inhale, plant the hands, find your plank. Take that full breath in. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin, hips stay high if you can. And then inhale, bring your body forward into Cobra. Exhale, push back to downward facing dog. Full inhale, long exhale. As you breathe in, stretch your left leg up, bring it forward and step it to the outside of your left hand. Bring your right knee down and then begin to open up towards that left leg. Either your hand comes down behind you or actively switch on that right glute to bring the heel towards you and then reach for your foot. Feel that stretch. Just take it to the point that feels good on your body. Keep drawing your navel and your lower belly in and your pelvic floor in so that you can relax the hips and the glutes and feel how this might allow you to come deeper into the pose. Now with an exhale, bring that left hand and step your right foot into your yogi squat once again. Hopefully feeling a lot more open in the hips already. Now take an exhale and bow forward over the legs. Heel toe the feet together and rise up to standing. Reach into the fingers. Exhale and lower hands to heart center. Take that full cycle of breath. And we'll move on, ready to add a little bit more challenge now. Open up the arms and exhale, fold. Breathe into halfway lift. This time plant hands and walk back to plank. Take a full breath in, plank. And then shift the shoulders forward. Maybe you bring the knees down or stay on the toes to hover in Chaturanga. And then lift into straightened arms and gaze up for upward facing dog. Exhale, find downward facing dog. Full breath in, long exhale out. Now inhale, lift your right leg high, bend the right knee and open the hips towards the right side. So you're bringing your hips open to that right side, even look underneath your right shoulder. And then step your right foot forward to the outside of your right hand and ground your left foot down at an angle. Find strength in your core, and from there windmill the arms to rise up to warrior two. Good. Gaze over your front fingers. Try not to lean forward or back. Stay centered in the middle. And find your breath here. Find stillness in your warrior two. Ground into the floor, feel so stable and secure even in a balancing pose. And then gaze towards your back foot, turn it towards the back edge of the mat and start to sit down into Skandasana. You can either bring your fingers to the floor and stay here, or you can sit all the way down into the hips and flex those right toes up to the sky. Breathe deeply in this pose. However it feels for you, let it be and let your exhales guide you deeper into the sensation. Good here. Crawl it all the way back towards your front foot. Place your right hand on the inside of the foot or the inside of the leg, pressing the back of the hand into that leg, and then reaching up and over with your left arm for side angle. You can even move it up to have your right elbow on your knee. Just take the variation that works best on your body and make sure it's not making you round towards the mat. Open your chest to the side. Gaze up if that's okay on your neck. And then we'll rise back up, use that core strength to lift you and then to turn towards the top edge of the mat. Find a point to gaze at ahead of you, bring your hands to heart center, and then stand up on your right leg, lifting your left knee into the chest. Flex your left ankle and cross it over that right thigh, and then begin to sit down into a standing figure of four position. Just finding that stretch here. Maybe you're just a little bit down. Maybe you can squat all the way down into the hips and bring your elbows to the front of your left shin. From here, we'll start to straighten that standing leg and bring the fingertips to the mat for a forward fold with that figure of four shape. And then lift back up and step that left foot to the mat. Amazing. Let your heart rate come down. Find your breath. And then we'll do that on the other side. Reach out and up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift. And then lower your hands and walk back to plank. Take a full breath in. Shift your shoulders forward and exhale, hover. Elbows go back. And then we lift into upward dog. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in downward dog. A long exhale out. Lift your left leg to the sky now, and then bend the left knee and open the hips out to your left side. Maybe you can look under that left shoulder. Breathe into the stretch. And then bring that left foot forwards and to the front end of the mat. And ground your back heel so that you can windmill the arms to rise up into warrior two. Arms straight out in that T shape, gazing over your, pulling lower belly in so you're not in a back bend. From here, look down to your right foot and turn the toes towards the back edge of the mat to sit down into your side lunge. Skandasana. Right toes are facing out to an angle. Left foot is facing the sky if you are down in this lower variation. If you need to be lifted up, then you can lift up. And when you're ready, start to crawl your hands towards the top edge of the mat. Bring that left arm, either press it onto the inside of your calf or bring the fingers down if you've got long arms like me. And then reach that right arm up and over. And find your breath. However the pose looks for you, focus more on how it feels. From here, we'll rise up, turn the body towards that front foot and reach the arms up. Find your balance, find your focus, and then lift onto that front foot. Lift the knee into the chest and flex your right ankle to cross it over the top of your left thigh. Sit down into the hips as far as you can to feel that hip stretch. And find your breath. And then you can bring your fingertips down in front of your legs and just feel that opening. Good. From there, stand it back,
From there, begin to straighten your left leg and come into that forward fold with your legs in the figure of four shape. And then step your right foot to meet your left and fold into the legs. From here, lengthen into the spine, rise up and reach into the fingers. Exhale to lower, hands to heart center. Take a full breath in and a long exhale out. Good, and just connecting back into the earth now. And we'll heel toe the feet together. Again, to come down to that garland pose. For me, this is like the root chakra pose. It just really helps us to connect with that lower body, to feel open and spacious through the pelvis and the hips. And just taking these moments here in your malasana, your garland pose. So from here, bring your fingertips to the mat. Find strength in your legs to step your right foot back. So now we're in a lizard lunge. You don't want your left foot too far back. Have it right up in line with that left hand. And then just give yourself a little bit of movement forward and back. And then you can bring your right knee down. If this is enough, stay here. You could even have some blocks under your hands, or if you feel really open in the hips, you can bring your left elbow down and then your right elbow down. Choose the variation of the pose that allows you to stay and to breathe and to feel grounded and to feel secure. So you're feeling that stretch, but not forcing it, not needing to hold your breath or screw up your face. And then you can just gently open that left knee out to the side and feel that even more coming into the hip. Be with your breath here. Be with your sense of safety and security. Allow yourself to take up space. Feel yourself melting down towards the earth as you find that Mula Bandha connection into your pelvic floor. Feel if you could relax into your hips a little more. Good, and now walking your fingers back up. Find that strength in your back leg, lift the knee, and then step forward into your yogi squat. Bring the hands to heart center, and then back down to the floor, and step it over to the other side. So into your lizard lunge on the other side, crawl that right foot forward, give it a little bit of movement forward and back. And then you can bring your back knee down and either stay up on the hands or bring it down onto your elbows if that feels good to you. So only choose this option on the elbows if you can comfortably get both elbows down. We don't want to be twisted over to one side. Just choose the option that is serving you best today. And really coming into those deep breaths. Again, try to relax your hips. We'll sometimes feel a little bit of fear coming up when we're stretching the hips because they can be such a tight area of the body and the muscles all want to grip on and not be stretched out, and we have to consciously release with each exhale so we can build that trust with ourselves, build that flexibility. Good, now walk back up onto your hands and just bring that back leg forward and sit down. And then you can bring the soles of your feet together and grab your feet, grab your ankles, or maybe even take your peace fingers around your big toes. Grow tall through the spine as you inhale, and as you exhale, start to hinge forward from the hips, bowing forward over the legs. Maybe even using your elbows to push your legs outwards for this Baddha Konasana, the bound angle pose. Just really allowing that breath to guide you deeper into the pose. Feel as though you're lengthening your chest forward over the feet. Good, and then you can bring your body back up and make sure you've got some space behind you. Keeping the feet in this position, move it back into a fish pose variation, Matsyendrasana. So you can stay up on the hands and just puff your chest up towards the sky, or you can even bring it down onto your elbows and bring your fingertips underneath your sit bones and then let your head drop back. That feels good. If you have a lotus pose in your practice, then you can bind the legs into that lotus position. I have never been able to do that, so that's just an option there for you. Open up that chest. You can even let the head come down onto the mat if that feels okay for you. And then keeping the legs in that position, lower yourself gently onto your back and keep your legs in that Baddha Konasana shape. So the soles of the feet are together, but now let them open out like a book. So they're just touching on the outer edges. And you're breathing nice and deeply. Almost feel as though you could breathe into the pelvis, into the space between the hips. And you can even give your inner legs a little bit of a massage to help them relax down a little bit more. And then from here, gently draw your legs back towards each other and just drop the knees over to one side for a gentle twist. If you want a deeper twist, you can wrap that top leg over the bottom leg. And gently, when you're ready, bring it over to the other side. And when you're ready, bring it back to the middle and extend your legs out along the mat for Shavasana. You can put on any jumper or socks and a blanket and make yourself really comfy. And then just allow yourself to take up space on the mat. Allow your legs to be really wide and your toes to drop out to the sides, palms facing upwards, feeling that sense of grounding and security on the mat. And then just giving yourself these few moments of total stillness here. you can just really gently wiggle your fingers and toes. And make your way over to lying on one side. Just taking that moment on your side. And then use your hands to push yourself up sideways to that seated position. Bring yourself up to a tall spine. And just taking a couple of really deep breaths. And now I invite you to bring your hands to heart center and bow your head and thank yourself for practicing yoga today. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope that you loved this practice, and if you did enjoy it, please leave me a comment. Let me know what you would like to see next. Maybe another video around all of the chakras, the 7 main chakras, or whatever else you are needing. It would mean the world to me if you gave the video a like and subscribed to my channel. I hope you have the most beautiful day, and I will see you in the next one.